Today in this video, let us learn about semiconductors. Now let us see what are the topics that we are going to discuss today. The topics are: what is a semiconductor, classification of semiconductors, intrinsic semiconductors, conduction in intrinsic semiconductors, Fermi level in intrinsic semiconductors, and finally quiz. There is a quiz at the end of the video, so please do watch the video till the end. Now moving on to the topics, the first one is semiconductor. How we can define a semiconductor? The materials in which the electrical conductivity is in between the conductors and the insulators, then those type of materials are called as the semiconductors, and these semiconductors behaves as an insulator at low temperature, and the best examples for the semiconductors are the germanium, silicon and gallium arsenide. Now if you see here, these are the devices which makes use of these semiconductor materials. Next is classification of semiconductors. Basically, the semiconductors are classified into two types, which are the intrinsic semiconductor, which can also be called as pure form of semiconductor, in which the number of electrons is equal to number of protons, and the second one is the extrinsic semiconductor, which can also be called as impure form of semiconductor, in which the number of electrons is not equal to number of protons, and this extrinsic semiconductor is again subdivided into two types, in which the first one is the n-type extrinsic semiconductor, in which the number of electrons is greater than the number of protons, and the second is the p-type extrinsic semiconductor, in which the number of protons are greater than that of the number of electrons. Next is how we can define an electron and the hole. First we will see the definition for the electron. Basically, we know that the atom is made up of electrons, protons and the neutrons, in which the electrons are the negatively charged carriers. And now coming to the hole, the absence of an electron in a particular place of an atom makes a creation of the hole, and this hole is an positively charged carrier. The electric charge of a hole is equal to the electric charge of an electron, but they are of opposite polarity. Now if you see here, this is the energy band diagram for the conduction and the valence band, in which the conduction band is filled with the electrons and the valence band is filled with the holes. Next is intrinsic semiconductor. How we can define an intrinsic semiconductor? Let us see. Pure form of semiconductor is called as an intrinsic semiconductor, and this semiconductor can also be called as undoped semiconductor or I-type semiconductor. In intrinsic semiconductor, the number of electrons in the conduction band is equal to the number of holes in the valence band, and therefore the overall electric charge of an atom is neutral. And the best examples for the intrinsic semiconductor are the silicon and germanium. Next is atomic structure. Now, how we can define the atomic structure for the silicon and germanium? Let us see. First is atomic structure of the silicon. The atomic number for the silicon is 14, and the silicon atom consists of same number of protons and same electrons. So that's why the silicon atom has 14 protons and 14 electrons, and these 14 electrons are arranged in the orbit as 2 electrons in the first orbit, 8 electrons in the second orbit, and 4 electrons in the outermost orbit. Now if you see in this figure, we can see that the silicon is surrounded by 2 electrons in the first orbit, 8 electrons in the second orbit, and 4 electrons in the outermost orbit. Now the atomic structure of a germanium. The atomic number of germanium is 32. And the germanium atom consists of same number of protons and same number of electrons. Hence, the germanium atom has 32 protons and 32 electrons, and these electrons are arranged in the orbits as 2 electrons in the first orbit, 8 electrons in the second orbit, 18 electrons in the third orbit, and 4 electrons in the outermost orbit. Next is covalent bonding in silicon and germanium. Now let us see first the covalent bonding in silicon. Generally, the outermost shell of an atom is capable of holding 8 electrons. So the atom which has 8 electrons in the outermost orbit is said to be completely filled and most stable. But the outermost orbit of silicon has only 4 electrons. You can see here the 4 electrons, 1, 2, 3 and 4. So the silicon atom now needs 4 more electrons to become more stable. That's why the silicon atom forms 4 covalent bonds with the 4 neighboring atoms. So if you see here, this is the formation of covalent bonds between the 2 atoms. So now here the silicon atom will be sharing with the other silicon atom so that it can form 4 more covalent bonds with the neighboring atoms. Next is covalent bonding in germanium. This is similar to that of the silicon. So the first is the outermost shell of the atom is capable of holding the 8 electrons, and the atom has 8 electrons in the outermost orbit are said to be completely filled and most stable, but the outermost orbit of the germanium has only 4 electrons. As you see here, 1, 2, 3 and 4. Now these 4 electrons has to be paired with the other 4 electrons, which forms a covalent bond so that it can make an 8 electrons in their outermost orbit. The points to be remembered are, in intrinsic semiconductor, free electrons are present at absolute zero temperature, and the intrinsic semiconductor behaves as a perfect insulator at low temperatures. Next is conduction in intrinsic semiconductor. Now, if an external voltage or the battery is applied to the intrinsic semiconductor, then the number of free electrons in the conduction band will be equal to the number of holes in the valence band. And the current caused by the electrons and the holes will be equal in their magnitude. Hence, the total current in the intrinsic semiconductor is the sum of hole and electron current, which is expressed as total current is equal to electron current plus hole current, and it is given as I is equal to I hole plus I electron. Next is intrinsic carrier concentration. How we can define an intrinsic carrier concentration? It is defined as the number of electrons per unit volume in the conduction band or the number of holes per unit volume in the valence band. That's why in the intrinsic semiconductor, the number of electrons generated in the conduction band is equal to the number of holes generated in the valence band, which leads to an electron carrier concentration to be equal to that of the hole concentration. That's why it is expressed as Ni is equal to N is equal to P, where Ni represents the intrinsic carrier concentration, N represents the electron carrier concentration, and P represents the hole carrier concentration. Next is Fermi level in intrinsic semiconductor. How we can define a Fermi level? The probability of occupation of energy levels in the valence band and the conduction band is called as the Fermi level. And in intrinsic or pure form of semiconductor, the number of holes in the valence band is equal to the number of electrons in the conduction band. Due to this, the probability of occupation of energy levels in the conduction band and the valence band are equal. Therefore, the Fermi level for the intrinsic semiconductor will be in between the forbidden band. Now, if you see in this figure, this is the energy band diagram for the representation of Fermi level in the intrinsic semiconductor. Now, if you see, this is the valence band and this is the conduction band. And this is the Fermi level which is in between that of the conduction band and the valence band. Next is this Fermi level which is in between the forbidden gap or the forbidden band indicates the equal concentration of free electrons and the holes, and the expression for the hole concentration in the valence band is P is equal to NV into e to the power of EF minus EV by KBT. And the expression for the electron concentration in the conduction band is N is equal to Nc into e power Ec minus Ef by KBT, where Kb represents the Boltzmann constant, T represents the absolute temperature of the intrinsic semiconductor, Nc represents the effective density of states in the conduction band, and Nv represents the effective density of states in the valence band. Finally, the Fermi level of the intrinsic semiconductor is expressed as Ef is equal to Ec plus Ev by 2, where Ef represents the Fermi level, Ec represents the conduction band, and Ev represents the valence band. And finally, the point to be noted is the Fermi level in an intrinsic semiconductor lies in between of the forbidden gap.